Hello out there, digital makers. Welcome back to Digital Making at Home. This week's episode is a really great one. If you haven't already, say hi in the chat and let us know where in the world you are. I am Mr. C, and I'm coming to you live from Cambridge in the UK. And back with us once again is the gregarious Christina. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm joining from Nebraska in the United States. And thank you to everyone joining us once again for another great episode of Digital Making at Home. Great to see you, Mr. C.
Great to see you too.
Now, we already have lots of folks in the chat, so I have to say hello. Seeing Larry. Thanks for joining us again, Larry. Hello, John in Calgary, Canada. We have VHAW Wildman from the Netherlands. It's coming in fast, so I just want to say hi. Hello, Go Ball, coming back. Hello, Thomas in South Carolina. Oh, so great to see everyone. Thank you all for getting involved. Welcome. It's awesome to hear from you. Today, we are playing with Pixels, actually, and we've also got Paco and David from Google Code Next as our special guests today. We'll hear more from them and about Code Next in a bit. We're also going to be playing with Pixels on the Sense Hat to make our own digital pet, like those Tamagotchis we all might have had when we were younger.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard all about Google Code Next, and I'm really excited to speak with them about the great work they do there. And I never had a Tamagotchi when I was a kid, so it'd be really cool to get started on like the first steps to making one today. And for those of you who are with us for the first time this week, welcome. Thanks for coming along. Digital Making at Home is all about getting young people just like you to bring their imaginations to life by learning to create things with technology. Every Wednesday, we make cool gadgets together. We see amazing digital making projects from young people worldwide, and we chat with incredible inventors and makers from all over the globe.
And we love having all of you with us here each week making cool stuff. We broadcast every episode to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Your comments come through live to us on those platforms, and we love hearing from you each week. Feel free to jump in, ask questions, or let us know your opinion.
Absolutely. We do get all your messages, everybody, and we love having your input to the show. So if you haven't been shouted out by us yet, don't give up. Throw more questions in, give us your stories, and just give us your opinions in the chat. It'd be really cool. And make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube because it really does help us out. And head to rpf.io/sub and you'll get all of our content fresh off the press. When you subscribe to our channel, you're going to be the first to know when we go live with new stuff.
Yes, subscribe. Join an incredible global community. And I mean it. Look at all the countries that are already in the chat. We're a community of digital makers, educators, and explorers coming together to change the world with digital making. Subscribe and join the adventure. Shout out to Sandrine, Gilbert, and Vilke, some of our most recent subscribers. Thanks for joining the Raspberry Pi community.
Amazing. Thanks for being part of the team, everybody. So, Christina, should we bring on Paco and David and have a chat with them?
Yeah. Come on in, Paco, David.
Yeah.
Hello. Welcome. Let's jump right in. Paco, could you share with folks at home, what is Code Next?
So Code Next is a Google program started about a few years ago to really change the face of technology, who participates in it, to give Black and Latinx students a chance to get the skills they need to prepare by connecting with real Googlers and real engineers in the field to get them prepared for a successful career in technology if they want it.
That's awesome. And so they come out and they get involved in the industry at sort of like the grassroots level, understanding what happens in the job. So what kind of things do they learn about and what do they make while they're part of Code Next?
So our students engage in clubs that last 9 weeks. Some of them are shorter experiences. Some of them are year-long commitments. But basically what they're doing, they're learning anything from web design to Python to machine learning to Android development. We try to keep them with the latest technologies that are coming down the pipeline, VR, AR experiences, to really prepare them for what's coming up next in technology. Taught by volunteers from Google, actually, who are making the tools that they are going to be using. So it's really cool to have that connection between just brand new students to full-on engineers further down the pipeline than them. And we try to get engineers actually who look like them, who come from the same backgrounds as them to really mentor them.
Awesome. Yeah, I got to visit. So shout out to the Code Next clubs. I got to visit some of them 2 weeks ago. It was a lot of fun to see the projects they've been working on. Now, David, you're part of the Code Next program. What have you been working on?
Yeah, so as my final project for the Code Next program, I made a multiplayer Pong game, and it's really fun. As you can see on the screen. I also learned how to use Python, which is really easy compared to a lot of other programming languages. So that was really fun too.
Oh, neat. Can you tell how does this work? You're playing back and forth. What? Yeah. Can you tell?
It's to communicate between the two clients. so I set up my computer as a server, and then you can connect as player 1 or player 2.
That's so cool. That's
Yeah, it's really neat. And I'm seeing some Codenext love in the chat from Kelly, Amber in Oakland. Actually, no, Kelly's in Canada, but working virtually. And then we've got Peta in New York City. Thank you so much for showing that Codenext love. That's so great. Well, David, I'm super curious, like to be able to create a game like that, can you tell us a little bit, when did you start coding? How did you learn to start, like when you started coding?
Well, yeah, ever since I can remember, I've always been fascinated with technology. So yeah, as you can see,
I was so cute.
Yeah, yeah. My mom says when I was 4 years old, I was already playing around with computers and cables and things like that. And when I was 8 years old, I asked my parents if I could join a robotics class when I used Lego to build robots, and you use block-based code to program them. And that was fun.
Oh, wow. I feel like we're seeing your journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I learned how to use Unity, the Unity game engine, when I was nine years old, because one day I came from school and I was, looking up games that I could play online, but I couldn't find anything fun. So I was like, if other people can make these games, why can't I do it? And so I did my research, how these people were making these games, and I found a program called Unity, and I started watching videos about how the tool worked and how to program in C#, and that's how I got into programming.
That's so cool, man. So Unity is a really great engine. I've taught young people to program in Unity, and jumping into C# is like not really easy. But can you tell us about some of the games that you put together in Unity? Like that's really cool.
Yeah, well, when I create games, most of the times I take a character that already exists and I make my own game with it. So when I see, I like a character, but they don't have a game, so I, make their own game, so then I can create it as I like, For example, I made a game of the Incredibles, and you could play as Dash and Violet, so I got to make the the force field shader and everything, and it was really cool.
Nice, that's wicked.
Yeah, and Paco, I know that with we're going to be making a Tamagotchi, and that was something you all have done with Codenext. You've made a Raspimon, which is so cool. Can you show us? I think you have one, right, with you. Can you show us and tell us how it works?
Yeah, so the Raspimon really is built on top of the Sensat. We thought that was a great way to teach students how to program in Python and hardware without all the different wires, because being virtual, it's hard to do all that stuff. So the Sensat really came in clutch for us. Here is an example of one of the Raspimons, and it's basically that idea, the Tamagotchi creature that you can program and feed and keep alive. And we teach you the skills on how to interact with the Sensat, this one in particular uses the keyboard input to animate the creature. So this is a flying Raspimon. I can make it hover.
So cool.
I can make it fly.
You've got a Pi mounted in the keyboard, right? Because that's a Pi 400 you've got on the desk there.
Yeah, so this is a 400 unit. We were one of the first to use it for our thing. So we sent these units to a lot of our students in Codenext. And basically, we're teaching them how to learn Python with the Sensat in a way that's really fun and animating.
That's cool. And you found
what we're doing with this machine learning stuff, camera vision, computer vision stuff with it too. So this is just one of the examples.
That's really cool, man. I mean, have you found that the modular unit, the Pi 400, has been useful in that sense, getting it into the classrooms?
Well, we don't really have the classrooms right now, but they're easy to send to students with having to do less setup in terms of all the keyboard's already built in, basically. Yeah. So it's been really useful.
Yeah, that's really cool. And shout out to the PyDrop crew who are like releasing those all over the UK at the moment. I think we've given out 5,000 kits to students here in the UK for exactly the same reasons, Paco. We're just like giving them out to young people who want to do coding at home and things like that in the pandemic. So that's amazing, man. It's so cool to see. I love how you've backed it up off Pokemon as well. I think that's really cool. I love that, man.
Yeah, the Raspimon came from that sort of like root name, a monster, a Raspimon, a monster. You can program and train and feed and do whatever you want, whether you want to make it evolve into something or whether you want to make it just keep it alive and feeding it and gets mad at you.
That's awesome.
And it's just, if you smile at it, then it gets happy. Or if you show it objects, you can feed it with some of the
cool.
ML libraries we're using.
That's so cool. I love that. And so you were part of the Code Next program as well, David. What did you make with your Raspberry Pi?
Yeah, so I made the game that was shown.
The Pong game.
The Pong game. Yeah.
What would you make next with it then? Sorry, it's a better question.
Yeah. I would like to make like a with the Raspberry Pi, I would like to make like a NAS server. So because I'm always running out of space in iCloud, so it would be nice to synchronize my photos and everything from my phone to the Raspberry Pi on an external hard drive.
Awesome. That's a pretty practical use, man. I love the practical uses of the Pi. Like Pi-hole is one you should look into. That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
We definitely have some Pi 400 fans in the chat. Just want to shout them out. Larry's saying Raspberry Pi 400 is awesome. Crypt Technology on YouTube actually is just setting up their Raspberry Pi 400. So you could look at what you can do with that. It's awesome. And thanks for joining us on Crypt Technology. David, what is next for you? So I know you've been doing some really cool stuff with Code Next. Like, what year are you? You're in high school, I know. What year are you?
Yeah, I'm a senior. Yeah, I'm in 12th grade.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, I'll be attending college this fall. So that's exciting. And where I see myself in the future is probably working at a big company. I don't know, maybe Google, maybe, or creating my own.
Hint, Paco, hint.
Make your own company.
Or creating my own company. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Oh, that's so exciting to hear. David, what advice would you give? Like, we have a lot of young people watching. Like, what advice would you give a young person right now who likely say, like, oh, wow, like David started so young. Like, how do I get started with coding?
Just practice, and never give up. Never give up.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, persistence is so important. I think that's something what I love about with coding is you're going to fail. And I think we have to be honest, like you're going to fail. And persistence is a big part of that. Like that's part of the role of a software engineer, of a coder, is constantly debugging, constantly navigating those failures. So it's definitely something that persistence is really important.
Amazing.
Now, Paco, we talked about Raspimon. Is that is there a resource that we can share with folks at home if they want to make their own Raspimon?
Yeah, so it's on the screen right there. That's our main website. You can learn about our program. You can sign up for our newsletter there at codenextwithgoogle.com. In case you wanted to apply for the next round of Connect, which is our virtual model, and students from all over the country have joined for this past few months. So maybe check with us in the newsletter. You can learn about signing up for future cohorts. But the curriculum is there at that URL. You can get the GitHub repo. You can download the code. Anyone can do that. Teachers can use it to teach it in their classrooms. It's pretty scaffolded, pretty accessible to most students. And it assumes you don't know much about programming. But if you do know something, there's plenty for you to do as well, as far as extending it to all kinds of fun ML uses, machine learning.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. And I know firsthand, I had a student who I actually taught when she's in 7th grade. Shout out to Dora. She's now in Boston studying computer science, and she did Code Next, and she absolutely loved it. It was something for her as a Latina, being able to come into a space where she felt safe and supported, and being in a community where she could explore coding was just amazing. And I am so grateful that you all have this program, that it helped her to shine, and it was awesome to hear about. So definitely apply, folks. Check it out. It's a really amazing program.
Amazing.
So,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Matt.
I was going to say thank you very much for coming along today. It was really nice to chat with both of you about all of that stuff and the amazing things you've been making and the great work that Code Next is doing. Just really
Thank you so much for having us on.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
For sure. It's great to see you. Bye, David, Paco. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Wow, cool.
That was super neat. It's been really cool. Paco and I have connected over the last year, helping get Raspberry Pis to students in Chicago, working on Raspimon. So it was really amazing to bring him on to Digital Making at Home, and especially hear about David's experience. That was so cool.
Yeah, very cool. And I think it's amazing the work they're doing is vital. Like we have to work really hard to ensure that sort of broad access to technology education for all sorts of people all over the world, especially if we're looking at the diversity issues that we're seeing in tech at the moment. But yeah, shall we crack on with our coding activity?
Yes, I know we're working on Pixels, so I brought some sparkles of my own. I'm ready.
Yeah,
Let's
awesome.
do it.
That is a style and pixelated jacket. I love it. So cool. All right. So what we're going to do is we've got a little tool here. So there's a spreadsheet that you guys can all get to, rpf.io/raspimon-builder or -builder, depending on how you say it. And it will pop you up to this. The first thing you'll need to do with this spreadsheet is to make a copy. So if you just click File and make a copy, then you'll have your own one. It will say copy of copy, and that's fine. So we'll just make a new one. And then once we've got our copy, then we can edit and change and make all the different things that we want to do inside of our spreadsheet. And you'll see it's here. And so what they've done, so what Paco's built is inside this replicates the 8x8 pixels on your sense hat. Okay, so these are the 8x8 lights on the sense hat. And so by using the spreadsheet that we have down here, yeah, there we go. Christina's got hers out too. So the spreadsheet, I can choose the colors here from all of these colors in this array here. So there's a list of colors I can use, which have the RGB values all put down for me, which is nice and handy. And here I can pick those colors and change them, or I can simply just like type the letters in here. And it will change all those for me as I go. So what you could do is if you want to start tinkering away there and making a picture in the background, and all you people at home, make yourselves some pictures in the background as well. You can see there are some different demos here. So some of the ones here, we've got Frankenstein. We've got, I'm not sure what that is. It's like, it looks like a dog with a headband on. I don't know, I'm guessing. And this is
adorable. That's what it is.
They're super cute, right? They're really cool. So what you need to do is go through and make your picture on here. So like we've done with these images, and then it just produces these snippets that we can use in our code later. And so when we go to our code, so I've got my Trinket emulator here. You can get to that by going to rpf.io/Trinket, I think. You can go to trinket.io/sensehat. That one works. And that will bring you straight to this. I've changed the interface so that I don't have the AstroPi on. I've just turned mine straight for the Pi because it gives me a nice bigger image for you guys all to see at home. And this code here, we can just get rid of. We don't need it. Boff, and it's gone. So I've kept the first 3 lines. Again, working smarter, not harder. Why would I retype them when I know I need them? But I don't like having that. So I'm going to change my variable s from s equals sensehat to sense equals sensehat. It just makes me feel better. Single letter variables creep me out because there's so much chance of me miskeying something and ending up with a variable for somewhere I don't want. So I just thought I'd change that bit there. But once you've got your Raspimon here, and so I've got one that I've done earlier. This is my little tiger, and I've made a separate one here so I can flick them between on my sense hat. But all I need to do is grab these 2 cells and copy them. So just Control-C to copy those cells and bring back here and then paste into my code and remove any quotation marks that I find. That's key. Get rid of the quotation marks so that you're not stringifying everything. There we go. And so what I've pasted into my code here is a list of all of the colors that I want to define. So I've made all of these variables here that say R is 25500. That's full red, green, blue, black, just like in my Raspimon builder. It's put all of those values straight into my code. So handy, unbelievably handy. And now when I want to make it work.
Unbelievably handy. Like when I saw
handy.
that Paco made this is a really cool resource. As someone who has gone in and been like, I can't figure out how to make my character on there. So shout out to Paco.
It's so good. Like, because we used to teach this in class and you would have to sort of explain about making this list that was 64 characters long, but breaking it into 8 lines of 8 to explain it. And don't need it now. Have this Google Sheet. Does the whole thing so much easier. And if I wanted to do this second one, so I've got my arm on 2, my second picture, I just click this cell here, Control-C, bring it back across to my emulator, paste it in there and get rid of the speech marks. Cool. And now I've got 2 images preloaded into my Trinket, which I can then just bring up on my screen whenever I want to. So I just go into the end of my code there and I would say while, wrong window. Okay. Oh, true.
We're going to use a loop. I'm excited.
Yeah, we're going to lose a loop, exactly, as long as set pixels. And then I just tell it the picture I want it to set. So sense.setPixels will set the picture I want. So I just say arm on 1. And then I'll give it a bit of a sleep. And then I'll tell it.
What you're doing right now is you're setting it to display that first image, that first one, then we're going to have it wait a couple seconds and then it's going to show the next one. And this is going to do it in a constant loop.
Exactly. That is exactly right. Yeah. And so it's going to wait. I don't know if you can tell how long it's going to wait in my loop between showing my pictures.
Oh, half a second.
Perfect. Yeah. 0.5.
I passed the quiz.
Passed the quiz. So now when I run it, so I'll stop and I'll run my code now and then I can see my tiger. Oh, I've got a problem. So name sleep is not defined. Why am I not got sleep defined? Let's see. Input.
Did you delete that one?
No, I was just lazy. And
Oh, there you go.
So what I want is from time, import
sleep.
sleep. Yeah, and then now it should.
And that's a
do
great
what I
thing
want.
about Trinket. If you're new to Trinket, I love this is a great ID for like educators to use because it lets you know, like it highlights it. It's super helpful in education to use.
Yeah, it's like, and it's just all there, right? And you see, I've got my tiger here, and its mouth
Oh,
is going
cute!
up and down.
Look at that tiger.
Right, my tiger is chomping. And then so now that I've got it going, and I've got my images put in here as Armon1 and Armon2, they will always be stored there as my list, and so I can just call them whenever I want. I could change this code and make it say while the temperature is above a certain point, then I want my picture to be the first picture. If the temperature drops below another point, then play a second picture. There's all sorts of things that I can do once I have it set up. It's just a matter of changing the code. It's really, really easy to do. I'll show you how to do it. We've got a bit of time. Let's do it.
Yeah. And I'm also getting a note, and we want to give credit where credit is due, that Josh was actually the first person who initially made the spreadsheet. So we want to make sure Josh gets credit for that as well. So shout out to Josh and Paco. It's a great resource. And so folks, it's in the chat. You can make a copy of it, make your own design, and then add that either into the emulator or onto your own Sense hat.
Yeah, so now I'm just setting it up here. So exactly the same as I did it before. Oops, I did a bit of typo there, so it's going to freak out on me. Okay, so if the temperature is greater than 40, then set my picture to be the first tiger with its mouth closed. And then I want otherwise, so in all other cases, sense.set, typo again, mon2, and then we close it. So if it's above 40, then be the first picture, otherwise be the second picture. So I'll stop my code and I'll run it. What have I got wrong? Haha, fantastic, another typo, there we go. Fix.
It happens. It happens. Live
Cool.
coding. That's how folks know it's live.
So you see here, when I change the temperature above 40 degrees, the picture changes.
Oh, so cute.
All right. So we can have that be anything, right? It could be the tiger is yellow when it's fine and red when it's too hot, you know, and the tiger.
Yeah.
And we can do anything we like with that now. So that's really handy. I love that spreadsheet. Where has it been all my life? It's making my life so
Right.
much easier.
Exactly. We've made a lot of images and needed that for sure. I'll definitely. Let me see. I'm checking in with folks. Let's also add in, can we add in the Trinket link? We'll add that into the chat so folks have that to get to the Sense hat as well.
Awesome.
Let's see. Nath is saying hello from Pakistan. Welcome, Nath. Thanks so much for joining us. It's great. And folks are asking about if they can get the full video. Yes, all of our videos are on our channel. So you can go to rpf.io/sub. You can subscribe and check out the Raspberry Pi Foundation channel and see this Digital Making at Home stream and past streams as well.
Yeah, all of our archived episodes, they're all there. Everyone from way back in the beginning when we had no idea what we were doing, Christina. We're flying by the seat of our pants, not like today at all.
I know. I mean, it's been a year. Like this is happy 1 year, friend. Happy 1 year.
Yeah,
We did it. I'll have to check the exact date, but we're definitely close. We're definitely close. And how it's evolved. And it's been incredible because we've built this community that didn't exist a year ago. And now we're all here together creating really cool things, connecting with cool people all over the world. And that is what I love about Digital Making at Home. It's so epic.
Yeah, absolutely. That was cool. I had fun doing that. I really enjoyed playing with those 8x8 grids. Like I love that 8x8 grids and stuff. They're my favorite things to play with because you have to be really concise with the information you put in to make a picture that makes sense. You have to really pick and choose. And I love that challenge. It's really good.
Now, could you do this on the Pi, Mr. C?
Yeah, easy. So I'll VNC into the Pi on my desk.
Okay, good. You got one ready to go. Awesome.
Yeah, I've always got one sitting on my desk. There's always one here that's always connected to my network so I can VNC onto it whenever I need one to do some work on. So I literally just take the code that I have in my Trinket here and I paste it into my Raspberry Pi. So what I'll do is I'll share my other screen with you so that you can see that. Just bring it up. That should be easy enough. Here we go. Pow. So you can see that I've literally just pasted into here the code that was in there, and I want to save my code, and I'm going to call it Tiger. Actually, let's put it back to the way it was before. So I'll do it so it just does an endless loop, because otherwise I'll have to try and get the temperature of my Sense hat above 40 degrees while I'm sitting here.
Yeah, remove that one there.
And that might be more entertaining for everybody else than anything else.
All right, we've got a question actually, Mr. C from Balaji. Can we also emulate the other inputs like the joystick on the Sense hat or Trinket or on Trinket?
You can, yeah. So on the Trinket, you can emulate a few of those things. You can emulate the temperature, the pressure, and the humidity. And I don't think it has a shake on it. I'm not sure if you can get the shake on it. I don't know that. But I know definitely those three, the environmental sensors, you can definitely play with no problem whatsoever.
Sure. Great question. Thanks for asking, Balaji. And we got a hello from Eugene in the Philippines. Hello, Eugene. And some love from Digital House for Trinket plus Raspberry Pi equals heart. Agree, Digital House. Definitely agree. All right. So, Mr. C, you're fixing your loop?
Yeah, I tried to go back in my Trinket and fix it there, but it's just easier to retype it.
Yeah.
Cool, and then another sleep. Cool, and then that should all be good. And then I'll save my tiger, and then I will run it. And then we should see. Aha, sense has no attribute. What have I got wrong? What have I got wrong? Oh, set pixels, not show pixels. That's what I got wrong.
And the line 42 or 40 as well.
Yeah.
Also, there we go. Nice.
Save and stop. Why is my code not stopping?
Gotta love the live coding.
Yeah, totally right. Okay.
You got it.
Why can I not stop it? It won't stop my code. Why would it stop my code?
I don't know. The Raspberry Pi, it's probably really excited. It's just like about to display something.
Let's see if I can get it to do it this way. There we go. Aha, cool. So they're here.
Nice. Problem solving in real time. Always appreciate you, Mr. C, for making it happen.
Yeah, well, you know, if I can get it to work. It's already open. Kill the tabs. There we go. Cool. Okay, so it should work now. Fixed.
Yes.
Oh, it's super bright.
It's very bright.
So it's massively bright, but you can solve. Let's see if I can get anything to block it with because it's so bright. All right, bit of paper.
I always appreciate Mr. C. Whenever there's a bug or ever there's an issue with code, we always solve it. And that's.
Oh, yeah, you got it, right?
Yeah.
Can you? No, it's still too bright.
It's too bright. We know it's magical. We know it's magical for sure. You did it. Congrats. We got it over to the.
We got it in the end. It's
side.
too bright to see, unfortunately. It's very bright. But it is there. So yeah, it's all good. So you can do it. It's a matter of just going straight across to my VNC, pasting it into my Mu here, and then running it with a few hiccups in the middle. But we got it there in the end, which is fine. That's what coding's all about, right? Like we were saying earlier, persistence. It'll go wrong. It will 100% go wrong on you. It's
100%. But persistence, like David said, for sure. And now, if you're at home, you are creating a Raspimon, a pet on your Sense Hat. If you're using a microbit, a Raspberry Pi, Scratch, HTML, we want to see those projects. You can submit a project to Coolest Projects. Coolest Projects is one of our amazing programs where young people all around the world can showcase what they've made with code. We already have projects from over 40 different countries, and we want to see your project. Project registration is underway with loads of new entries coming in every single day. So check out coolestprojects.org for more information. Right there. No, right there.
Right there. I love seeing all the amazing and inspiring entries that people put into Coolest Projects each year. So I hope those of you who are watching want to put one in as well. It'd be really cool to see you there.
Yeah, me too. We want to see it.
So it was great to see so many of you people getting involved in the chat this week. It was really cool. Vilo, nice to see you. Gopal, every week. It's great to see you in the chat, Gopal. Nath Raj getting involved, and Ahmed. The video again, Ahmed, you can get all of our old episodes. Don't forget to go back to our archive and have a look at them. And thank you, everybody, for your great contributions to the discussion. And thank you to Paco and David for coming on to chat with us today about Code Next. Really inspiring again. Really cool.
That's all the time we have for this week, though you can always get in touch with us. Send us an email at dmah@raspberrypi.org to ask us a question, show us something cool you've made, or just let us know what you're up to. If you're working on a project and you want to share it with us, you can also tweet a picture of it to us at raspberry_pi.
Absolutely. We love seeing all the tweets come in. And before you go, make sure to like and subscribe so that you are the first to know when we go live, and you'll get updates on all the other great content on our channel as it comes out. We are all about supporting young makers and educators around the world with fresh new content every week, so don't miss out. Thank you all for being here again for the Raspberry Pi Foundation's Digital Making at Home live stream. We'll be back again same time next week with more digital making. Until then, stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you next time. See you, Christina.
Catch you later. Bye.